Mic test. Alrighty, hello everybody, thank you for joining us. We're going to open the meeting at 6:33 p.m. on the 3rd of November. We'd like to start with a statement of acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that the land we meet on today is the traditional lands for the Gawler people, and we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also acknowledge the Gawler people as the custodians of the Greater Adelaide region and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still as important to the living Gawler people today. Item 2 is attendance. We've got 2 apologies from Kelsey and Ren. Do we have any motions to grant leave of absence? I don't think we have any current leave of absence either. And we also have no non-attendance. We do have Jade joining us via Zoom, but we unfortunately cannot see her, but she can hear us and we can hear her as well. Item 3 is public open forum. Do we have any tonight? I don't believe so. Item 4 is declarations of interest. Emerson declared a material conflict of interest pursuant to Section 75C of the Local Government Act for item 7.2. The nature of this conflict is that the matter relates to his potential reappointment to the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee, so he will leave the meeting at the time of item 7.2. Do we have any more declarations of interest? No? Amazing. Item 5 is confirmation of minutes. Do we have any questions or discussions regarding our previous minutes for our meeting on the 1st of September? We'd like to mention here as well that Molly's motion will be brought forwards as a motion without notice for later on. Has everybody had a chance to have a look at the minutes? If so, please have a very brief speed through now. Could I please have a mover, Bernie, and a seconder, Lily? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. I'd like to note that the minutes of the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee meeting held on the 1st of September be confirmed as true and correct record. Do we have any business arising from minutes? Nope. Item 7 is decision reports. If everybody could please turn to page 4 of the agenda. So item 7.1 is the Youth Sponsorship Program, which is the 2025 and 2026 round 2 applicants. If we have a look, we have 3 applicants here. We have Emily, Taylor and Alana. If you would like to have a quick read through the applicants, including their sport, their club and their team and their event details. Would we like to vote on the applicants together or separately? Together. Are we all happy to vote with them together? So if we have a read here, for round 2, we still have plenty of remaining budget. All 3 of the applicants have applied for a $200 sponsorship. So we do have the budget if that is something we would like to keep in mind as well. We have Emily applying, all 3 of them are applying for indoor cricket. Emily, Taylor and Alana are applying for $200 for indoor cricket, representing Australia at the 2025 Indoor Cricket World Cup in Sri Lanka. That's very exciting. Any questions, discussion? Emerson?
So with this, how many more meetings do we have until the next budget? Like 6, 8, something around there, or?
So through the chair, we have the 3 meetings until the end of financial year.
Thank you, Chair.
Just to put that in perspective, we still have $6,900 if we do approve this, if I am correct from that. So I would say with 3 more meetings, I feel like we've somehow got so much more. What is a good thing?
Absolutely. So we do have the budget for that, and as Chair mentioned, we still have plenty more meetings as well. Plus, this is round 2, so this only began in October, I believe. Sorry? Yes, the new financial year. Thank you, Chair. All those in favour of approving all 3 of the sponsorships for Emily, Taylor and Alana? Could I please have a mover? Molly? And a seconder, Emerson. Sorry, all those in favour? Amazing, carried unanimously, thank you. It is the officer's recommendation that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that the applications for sponsorship received for the following young people totalling $600 be approved. So we have Emily Valance, Taylor Gregory and Alana Gregory, all applying for $200 for indoor cricket. We're going to turn to page 7 of the agenda now, which is the appointment of members. So it will be under 7.2. Mm-hmm. Yes, so...
Don't we ask him to speak first? Or do you want him to speak first before he leaves?
Yeah. Emerson, would you like to speak?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Why you would like to return? Emerson will be speaking.
I would like to return because I'm quite interested in the current headspace stuff that is currently happening, and would like to still be a part of that. And also, I do enjoy these meetings quite a lot. I know I derail them a lot too, but it is quite enjoying and fun. And I feel like I'm just starting to get into it, so I'd love to stay a bit longer if that's okay.
Thank you, Emerson. Is Jade going to speak as well? Hello, Jade. Can you hear us through Zoom?
Hello, I hope you guys can hear me.
Hello. Thank you. Please feel free to go ahead.
So yes, I'd like to rejoin the YAC. I am currently in a scholarship year in Gawler, so whilst I'm not actively in Gawler, I still feel very much a part of the community, and I believe that being able to access community groups like this online is such a strength of the Gawler YAC. Regardless of where we're based at the moment, we should still feel part of our community. So I think even having more members, if you're unable to join on a Monday, whether that's due to other commitments or you're just maybe not feeling the best and able to make it to the meeting, I think joining online is always a really good option for our members. I've been on the YAC since I was in high school, so I've seen it develop into what it has now become, and I think there's still so much more that the YAC can be doing in collaboration with council. I'm really looking forward to the lines one, like with the disability and inclusion plan, when council revises their plan, I really would like for the ACT to be involved with that. And hopefully I'll be back in Gawler by then, so I can help lead a team or potentially a couple of people who want to have their voices heard. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jade. We have one other applicant, Hannah Lucas, but she is not here because she has, I think today or yesterday, ran off to an army. Oh, tomorrow. She's ran off to an army thing in New South Wales. So I will be speaking on her behalf. She unfortunately hasn't given me any information to present to you. But I can tell you, Hannah is a very hardworking person. She is very interested in the arts. She loves music. She loves writing. Yeah, sorry, is that?
She was on the committee before.
Yes, she has previously been on the YAC. She then ran off to live interstate, and now she is back. We do have here, thank you, that Hannah has written. She's a very confident person. She is very community focused and driven and a natural leader. And she is well known in Gawler. Everyone knows her. When she's around, she participates very heavily in the programs that are in the youth space. And yeah, I will really quickly ask as well to these lovely people, how many vacancies do we currently have?
So we can have up to 4 more members. So we have 9 currently. We have a maximum of 13 members allowed on the ACT committee.
Incredible, thank you. I think that is all. Emerson, if you would like to leave the room, goodbye, bid farewell. And Jade, you might not have to physically leave the room, but can you spiritually leave the room, please?
Would you like me to take my headphones off or something? Would that work?
Yeah, you have to figure out when
Kick her out. Yes, I'll give you a thumbs up when you're ready. You have to zoom right in on your screen. Thank you.
Sounds good, thank you.
All right. Considering the vacancies, we have plenty of space. Do we have any discussion, thoughts, feelings about any of the following people? Kind ones, please. Bernie?
So, as you mentioned that Hannah was going to participate into the army program, how long is that program going to be take, and is she able to return in the first meeting on February for next calendar year?
Through the chair, yes, Hannah was an apology only late last night. She's gone for 8 days, so they have to do a training so she can be part of the Army Reserves. So obviously, if the others that know Hannah know that her parents are both in the RAF, so they move around. So she's back here now permanently. So this is Hannah's home. She goes to university here. So she wants to come back. So she will be here in February. And if she's successful, she also hopes to join us in December for the end of the year dinner.
Okay, I'll go, thank you.
She will be back. Hannah has told me she will be back in about a month, so goodness knows when she'll actually be back. But she will be back for the next meeting, if that's what we're concerned about. Cody?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to bring all 3 of them in. I think I'm always a little concerned if it's a new person if they don't show up to the meeting, but with Hannah, it is someone who has previously been on the YAC and legitimately it just had an event, and so I'm fine with that.
Amazing. Do we have any more discussion? Great. Would we like to... Sorry? Do we want to vote together or separately? Together. Are we happy to take all 3? Yeah? Everyone's nodding their head. Amazing. Could I please have a mover? Lily? And a seconder? Molly? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Can someone please let Emerson back in? Give a thumbs up to Jade.
You're also cute.
It'd be funny if Jade wasn't paying attention. She's like 10 minutes through. She's like, wait. Emerson's gone. He's gone for a run. Congratulations to Emerson, Hannah, and Jade somewhere for returning or re-returning, coming back. I'd like to note that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that it notes the expressions of interest from Jade Hancock, Emerson Speed and Hannah Lucas for membership to the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee, having considered the nominations from the candidates for the vacant Gawler Youth Advisory Committee positions, Jade, Emerson and Hannah be appointed to the YAC for a period of 2 years. Thank you very much, everyone. Can you please now turn to page 10? I'd like to ask Chia to speak now. Thank you.
Thank you. Through the chair. So we've been talking about making some changes to the youth sponsorship program for a little while now. So based on a review of what other councils are offering, as well as the feedback that we've received from the Youth Advisory Committee over the last few months, I have recommended some changes in the report. So the main ones are, hopefully you've all had a chance to read it, but the main ones are, first of all, just changing the titling a little bit. It was a little wordy. It was the Youth Sportsperson Sponsorship Program, the Youth Artist Sponsorship Program, the Youth Community Involvement Sponsorship Program, all under the Youth Sponsorship Program. So just changing the titling, so it's the Youth Sponsorship Programming with 3 categories: sport, the arts, and youth leadership. And youth leadership is a combination of both community and the Town of Gawler Youth Leadership Award. So just a bit of a title change there. That then does lead into the second major change, which is the Town of Gawler Youth Leadership Award, which previously has been offered to schools for a year 11 or 12 student who sort of shows really great leadership skills. We haven't had any nominations this year or last year. The teachers are the ones who nominate, and despite many attempts, we just weren't able to get any nominations. So we're thinking perhaps the interest just isn't there. So if we combine that with the Youth Community Involvement Sponsorship Program and just have it as the Youth Leadership Program, that's still there. If there is a student or a young person in the community who shows those, demonstrates those skills and abilities in that leadership, it just means we're not having a separate category. The sponsorship amounts, feedback has been that they've been they need to be increased, so it's increasing it. So representing South Australia, increasing from $100 to $200, representing Australia, increasing from $200 to $400, and community involvement or the new youth leadership from $100 to $200, so that's just increasing that. We haven't expended all of the budget for many years with youth leadership programs, so I think we do have the capacity to do it. And then the last change would be ending the rounds. We currently accept them in rounds, so they're 3-month rounds, and at the end of that we present all of them to the YAC committee. Just removing the rounds means they'll just go to the next meeting, so they'll move through the process a little quicker. So if you apply, say you apply at the month 1 of the round, you have to wait 3 months plus a month for the meeting and then council approval. You'll just get your money a little quicker. It'll just go to the next available YAC meeting. So they're the main changes. Does anyone have any questions or feedback?
Thank you, Chia. Yeah, I think that will be really good, especially in this economy as well. Everything's getting a lot more expensive. How do we feel about that as well? Any discussions or questions?
Probably more of a process question. Say this one gets up, is there an ability or a process that we could actually amend the programs that we've just said yes to the new amount? Hypothetically?
Through the chair, we'd have to speak to governance about that. The reason I have it, if they go ahead, coming into effect on the 3rd of January is that aligns with the end of the round that we're currently in. And just from a governance issue, having people knowing what they're applying for in that application period, we could speak to governance and see if that is able to be retroactively applied to people that have, if the committee is interested in doing that. Might just be a motion at a future council or future YAC meeting once I've had a chance to check with governance if there is interest in that. Yes, yeah. It's talking for this year, so everyone this year. We can check with governance and see if that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, and the only reason I ask is probably wouldn't surprise you, is pretty much over the years I've been saying that it's great we sponsor these things, but to assist these families, you know, upping that money, I think is going to make a bigger dent, especially those that are going overseas as well. And again, $200 is a lot of money, but you know, $400 is a lot more, and it goes a lot further in travel. So yeah, look, if I'm liking the fact that we are acknowledging that, and we are acknowledging the budget side of things, and flowing through to up those limits is just one of those window and timing things. We do have a start and a stop, I acknowledge that, but how good would it be if we could turn around with a good news story and say, hey, realistically we can see the writing on the wall here, and we know we're not probably going to expend the budget, so we're going to start this from now, potentially.
I was just wondering if in the future with this new update, if we ever do get low on the budget, would we have to, if someone comes in saying, could I get $400 for this, could we go back, rather than rejecting them, could we go and say, we can give you 200 or 300? Is that possible?
Yes, it is possible. We do that with the community grants. People can request the full amount available, $1,000 for example, and the committee deciders, the grant committee will, sorry, words failed me there. They may decide, look, we've got lots of great grant applications, we only have so much to go around. Instead of giving these 3 people 1,000, we'll give 4 $750, that sort of thing. So you do have the discretion, if the budget is getting a little low, to say we still want to sponsor you, but we want to make sure there's budget for everyone, we'll reduce their amount a little bit.
Also, with this, would this be changing any of the requirements for this grant, or would it still be the same type of requirements?
Still the same requirements, so still need to be between the ages of 12 to 25, be a resident of the town of Gawler, and be selected to represent either the state or the country, or be involved in something such as a youth forum or youth parliament. So those conditions are still the same.
Yeah, so I guess I'm happy with the increase in budget. I think it's something that we also had to address for the community grants. I think we've increased it from 1,000 to 1,500 now, and that just reflects the fact that $200 now and $200 10 years ago are different amounts of money. The Youth Leadership Award is unfortunate that we haven't managed to get traction within the schools of, I think, as a communications thing, because I know it's something that, because I was the one who brought it in after going to one of the awards nights that the school holds, where they always have 10 different sponsored awards that individuals or groups or our former mayor, etc., have individually sponsored students, and there's an award and they come up, and I'm going to one for Trinity later this month. But I think since this was a sort of separate, this wasn't part of their award ceremony, it was our award, it wasn't in their bureaucracy, and it's sort of the, I think, yeah, it just seems to have slipped through the cracks because it's not an issue of one of the schools, it's both of the schools haven't responded for the last 2 years, so. Yeah, changes in staff and all this sort of thing just mean that it gets lost, which is unfortunate.
Thank you, everyone. Does anyone have any other discussion regarding 7.3? No? Sorry? Alrighty, could I please have a... Sorry, let me rephrase that. If we're all happy with that, can I please have a mover? Aislinn? And a seconder, please. Bernie? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. I'd like to note the changes to the youth sponsorship program as outlined in said report, and also adopt the youth sponsorship program eligibility criteria and guidelines as presented within attachment 1, noting that as of current, they will come into effect on the 3rd of January, but I'm sure we'll get an update from Chia once she has had a chat with governance. Thank you. Alrighty. On to item 8, information reports. Can we please turn to page 16? I'd like to ask the Youth Development Officer to speak on this one, please.
Thank you. Through the chair. We haven't had a meeting since October school holidays, and it was a little bit crazy, but it was also lots of fun. I'm going to let the other young people that were involved in a lot of the programs update, but for me, watching on, I think I saw a lot of young people just take the lead in a lot of programs, which was really nice. When we had our free giveaway, we also had a barista course on the same day, and my highlight was the fact is that they could set that up, pack that up, but while it was running, they also used that time to sit around and plan something for 2026, which was really great to see the young people taking the lead on what they want to happen within our programs. So that was really great. Term 4 is well underway. So we've got drama, which again, I'll let them update what's happening there in that space, and we've got a brand new program as well. Fringe 2026 planning is still underway, and we're getting to the stages, again, we have got a drama show and a few things happening, so it'd be great to have those things go live shortly or towards the end of the year. January school holidays will be coming out soon, so we aim to have that out in the next couple of weeks so that people can book before they go to Christmas, because it's one of those things that our young people tend to forget to book what they want, and other young people, you know, from other areas will be begging to get into the program. So, which is a great problem to have, but it also means that our young people will have that chance to book before we open it to the outside areas around us. Christmas card competition awards are going to be this Thursday at 9:30, and Abby's going to be there on behalf of the YAC along with Mayor Nathan and Chia and myself. So it'll be great to see young people, little people coming in, not quite young people, but it is great to see them like grow up and then come into the youth space leading from there. And we have seen young people that have won past art awards then turn 12 and come into our programs. So it does lead into that. So it is great. Youth Week's grants are open, and we're just working on an application at the moment. They have to be in this week. So some of you have been helping us with some weird names and ideas of what you wanted to be doing. And the last thing on my list for tonight is the volunteer end of the year dinner is the 8th of December. So if you haven't already saved the date, can you please let us know soon if you can? Invitations, formal invitations will go out in the next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Do we have any questions or discussions regarding anything? Not particularly. Amazing. Could I please have a mover, Aislinn, and a seconder, Emerson? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Hello. I would like to note the Youth Development Program Update Report. Item 9 is items listed for discussion. This is like rapid fire now. 9.1 is presiding member verbal update. I sent Mayor Shanks a message the other day and said, hey, can we meet? And he said, yeah, I'll organise something with Angela. So nothing to report at the moment. But next meeting, hopefully, if we're both in the state at the same time, the stars will align and I'll have something to bring back for the first time in a blue moon. 9.2 is accessibility to transport. Debbie, would you like to update about Bike Month?
Bike Month seemed to get a lot of traction on social media. People like the posts that obviously advertise different things. The maps in the building was really successful. At first I didn't know we were going to get them, so we ended up getting 2 boxes, and I think we've only got about 25 left in this building out of 400, which is pretty good considering, and they were also through the other council buildings, and I've been told that they are all gone. So our bike path maps and walking trails in the town of Gawler, it is good to have that map because it's, I guess, a guideline when you want to go for a walk. It also encourages people to get out with their families, have a walk, have a look, and it takes them on other trails in and around the Gawler area. So there is a few left if you want one. They're just outside of the youth space on that table there. I noticed there was still a few left there, up there. That's all for Bike Month, unless anyone else has got any updates on Bike Month.
Not particularly. The only other things in regards to transport is that is something I'll be chatting to Mayor Shanks about when we eventually at some point meet in the next 5 to 10 business days. We'll definitely be having a chat probably about trains and the bus network, which I believe is somewhere later in the agenda. Oh, foreshadowing. How fantastic. Item 9.3 is youth programs update. Lily, would you like to begin with an update on drama?
So currently in drama, we're all working on our cabaret shows for our performance in the 2026 Fringe. Is that in March, Debbie? Yeah. And so we're all working on different projects and little groups, and we're also working on bits for the people who aren't in groups and also people who are in groups to do little performance bits in between shows. So the whole thing's like one big connected show. It's like the Cabaret Cafe. I think I won't give away too much more, but it's going very well.
Thank you, Lily. Yes, performance is on the 21st of March during the day. It will be held here, thankfully, upstairs in the hall, and it is called the Curtain Call Cafe. Mikala has made the poster. She had a horrible time on Canva, but we have a poster now. So that's very exciting. Thank you, Lily. You know what? I'm going to change it up. Aislinn, would you like to have a chat about polyclay?
So this is a new program for us. We have just completed our second week of this and we're going into our third. It's just, so far we haven't done much of the business side. It's more of just making polyclay with help from Mad Hatter's parties. And yeah, it's been a great, a lot of the time we kind of just sit around, make stuff and chat. So it's a good way to catch up with people and yeah.
Amazing, thank you. And finally, Emerson, would you like to update on band?
I will say this is wrong. It says I played there. I did not. But I did get to see our youth band play at Middle Murray, and they went really well. They were a bit nervous at the beginning because it seems to be set in their mind that this is a very more important show than the last couples they've done, of what isn't true, to be honest. They've done very important things. Apparently, according to this, they've been asked to come back next year. They did do really well. We had a lot of audience members and people dancing along. There was people who congratulated them afterwards as well. It also says on here they will be playing at a Christmas carols this year. I didn't know that, to be honest. Individual Christmas carols this year with a few songs of crafty at the event. So if you are going to Christmas carols, get ready to see the band. That's all I can say, really.
Thank you, Emerson. Any questions, discussions, RE, drama band, or polyclay? Oh, there's lots of new young people involved. I was going to say, I did very speedily cut through the youth space the other day and saw a lot of faces that I don't recognise. So it was good to see that the youth of the area are utilising the space. That's really great. 9.4 is youth events update. Firstly, the Community Development Officer, her name is Linda, had her Community Services Expo last month, the month before. At some point in time it happened. Debbie and I were both here. I'm going to share first, I think, before handing over to Debbie. I'm doing it all. Never mind. It was really great. There was heaps of different little, vendory people, I'll say, and plenty of the community waltzed on through, which was really good. There was heaps of different, there was a wide variety of, I don't know if vendor's the right word, stalls, service providers, cheer. Lots of different people, lots of different opportunities, which was really good. Most of it was really good feedback, I'm pretty sure. And again, lots of people that I haven't seen before. I feel like with the community events, sometimes it's like, it's just the same people. But it was really nice to see the community utilising that space. Did anyone else come through that day? No? You don't have anything to add, Debbie? Okay, never mind. Great. We're going to move on to Aislinn, chatting about the Headspace program.
Yes, so we haven't had any meetings yet, but people who put down their names and signed up for the committee got a phone call from Kim, I believe her name is, and she's the one who's running the whole youth committee for Headspace. And this Thursday, we are going through and having a tour of the new Headspace building and having our first official meeting, kind of telling us what to expect, what their goals are, and they're set to open relatively soon. I think most of the building's done now, so yeah.
Amazing, thank you. Very exciting. Please bring back notes from the meeting. Any questions regarding that one for Aislinn? Not particularly. October school holidays. There were a lot of workshops. There was painting with Jess, special effects, airbrush tattoos, barista training, free giveaway, film planning, floristry workshop, D&D, and crystal art. Fantastic, very exciting. Did anyone stumble into any of those programs? Please, rapid fire, shoot what happened.
I did 4 of them. So the crystal one, it was just making bracelets and jewellery with crystals with someone who works at Spellbound, I believe. And that one was pretty good. She taught us how to thread the beads properly because they're quite fiddly onto the strings, and it was really nice, that one. It was quite peaceful. There weren't that many people there. I did D&D, which was pretty good. I'm not going to talk about our campaign much, but it was pretty good. I was in a group with Emerson and Molly.
Molly?
No, I'm Aislinn. I was with Emerson and Aislinn. I'm sorry. And I also did the giveaway one. So many people came to that one. It was pretty great. There was also cheap coffee in the cafe at the time because the barista workshop was running at the same time. So that could have impacted it, but that one was very good. And there was another one that I went to. SFX. SFX was also great. Yeah.
bricks into books. We did that as a program, spray painting and painting bricks into the books. And then we also displayed them at the the Pace Festival. That was fun. We went a little nuts, I won't lie. The barista training I didn't do, but I was there on the day. I don't think anyone here actually did it. It was good, apparently. The flostering club? Oh, I didn't do that one.
Floristry.
I did the floristry one. I did all of them. The floristry one was a great experience. We actually went over to the florist, and it was a great experience because we were guided through it, but we also got like some creative freedom, and we learned a lot of techniques that, like, if anyone wanted to go into floristry, they were able to, and that. So yeah. I also got kind of a casual job from it, so that was a bonus.
Forgot about airbrush. Airbrush was quite good. We had to pull apart an airbrush gun 3 times before we were allowed to do anything. I got yelled at for that, I won't lie. We're going to keep a kit. That was great, and it was quite fun to airbrush everyone. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it. And you didn't mark down here, but you mentioned film planning. It wasn't actually a program. It was just something me and Aislinn kind of just started doing. Yeah, we've been asked to plan a new youth film, but this time we are making it, like, what was it? 16 plus. We are making it 16 plus this time, so I expect a little bit more gore-ish. That's all I can really say on it because I don't know much.
Oh, Debbie said no gore. Apparently there's no gore. Ace is like, no gore.
It's family friendly. Don't listen to him.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that the programs are great and the film planning we're not going to talk about because Cheer's in the room. Fantastic. What a great segue to me changing the topic of how incredible that we had such a wide variety of programs as well. Because all these different things have so many little pathways. Are you okay? Yeah, great. So many little pathways into different careers and hobbies. It's very exciting. I'm gonna hand over to the lovely Debbie now to chat about the Pace Festival.
I'll be very brief. The Pace Festival was very welcoming for young people this year. We had multiple items on display, plus a lot of young people came on the night of the opening. We also had some older youth volunteers that attended and also helped us during the programs and spoke on behalf of the young people, some of the young people on the night that were a bit shy. We also had the documentary that you made played, so we will get that put up on YouTube so that we can play it permanently, but it's still running in the cafe space at the moment, so that we can have access to it. That probably was the highlight of the whole Pace Festival, according to people, was the documentary itself. It was a very short documentary that was filmed on a phone in between other people doing spray paint and art on the same day. So it was a lot of shushing and moving around and different things. So that was actually very cool for that to come together at the last minute. So well done to everybody. And Sky's art, that is still on display in the cafe space. Sky's just been asked to bring their art to the Fringe Festival for 2026 as a youth artist. So that's a really great exposure, but also when the Pace Festival packed up, the cafe asked if their artwork could stay up, which was also a great representative of youth art in our community. And if you don't know, Sky is Hannah's sister. That has just applied for the Youth Advisory Committee. So yeah, the reach is well far. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. It's the tenuous Adelaide connections where everyone actually knows each other. Just mentioning as well that the PACE Festival is the Plains Arts and Culture Events Festival. So it's based in Gawler, because we're the Plains area. And yeah, it was really great. They had heaps of different venues along the main street and in here. Lots of different artists participating, which was really great. And all the feedback that I heard was really fantastic as well. Do we have any questions, Ari, any of that? No? Amazing. I'm going to rapid fire the rest of this as well. Santa's workshop's coming up soon, next month. Very exciting. If we don't know Santa's workshop, we transform the whole hall into a whole little Christmas wonderland. Very exciting. Believe the Christmas parade is being announced shortly, and the carols are being organised at the moment. So if you're ready for Christmas, get pumped. Let's go. One more thing here as well before we move on. We recently had a business and community reference group meeting. It was the first meeting. I'm just checking that was right. That is organised by the lovely Stacey Mills, where Emerson and Aislinn and I were invited, and Debbie came in along as well. Mayor Shanks was also there, and the group is basically, and Councillor Davies was also there. Basically, a whole lot of what do the people and the businesses and the youth actually want to see in Gawler. We only had one meeting. It was, I don't want to say uneventful, but it was very brief, just to get to know the group sort of thing. Hopefully the next meetings we will have more of a chat about. Would anyone like to speak about that? Councillor Davies is ready to go.
Sure. Yeah, look, the reference group is, it's basically just a chance for people with different viewpoints around the town to have their voice heard, so it's important to get the youth's perspective. And yeah, look, this first one was mostly the introduction, explaining what was going on, which is the part that you only have to do once, and then the actual part with the discussion is what will become more and more of it as it goes on.
Amazing. Any other questions?
Yeah, I might just add to that as well. I guess what I took out of it was certainly just trying to open the door for Main Street traders, RDA, youth, etc., to be able to buy in. But I think staff certainly wanted to be able to set the scene, especially for myself. I'm sure Cody would agree. This is a sentiment that we've been on a journey for many years, and trying to explain how our underlying strategies that have been in development, reviewed, gone out for community consultation, action plans implemented, maybe not, some are yes, all that, rolling it all into one to go, all right, modern day, what does modern day Gawler look like? How does modern day Gawler trade? And then the questions start coming through. And I'm optimistic that now that the room is developed and now they've got a bit of a taste and we've been able to see how local government talk, the room will come in and say, good, no worries, we've got the introduction now. This is how we see Gawler moving forward. And then the local government arm can be, cool, no worries. We've actually already got some framework and strategies that's pulling that idea forward, and then sort of try to roll out the action plans that actually implement it. I think one of the main things to be clear on though is council needs to be able to partner with future investment, because what we might want in our town collectively as individuals that live in our town, and we all have our differing opinions, we need private investment. We need to be able to show that we're open for business if we want the businesses that we might leave Gawler and utilise coming in, and we want more vibrant cafes, bars, wine bars, but whatever it is, whatever your vibe is, we want to be able to inject that into our strategies to be able to tell the broader market that we're open for business, and we'll support that kind of undertaking within our centre precincts in which we do have a couple, Main Street being our central one, Adelaide Road, and then we've got Paxton Street for our more industrial. Now, all these play vital parts in employment opportunities, career opportunity, you know, and the like. But it was certainly in no offence mean, but a dry introduction to that. But those that might have come along, it's bear with us, because if we don't like how things are going, this is the sort of group that is going to be able to inform what the future of Gawler potentially could look like on a policy setting level that is actually that, hey, we're open for business. But yeah, it is going to take a little bit of work, and we're going to play so much back and forth because there are so many different personalities in that room. On one corner, I had personalities that wouldn't want to touch a heritage building because it's heritage, and then I've got another one on the other side saying, if you want to save your heritage buildings, you need to invest in your heritage buildings, and we need to work through and find the happy medium there to get that activation that I think we all collectively really want.
Amazing, thank you so much. I think Stacey did a really great job as well communicating very clearly with all of us, like, hello, this is what the group is, this is what we can offer, we are willing to take your feedback and stuff. But I think a lot of it as well is, as Mayor Shank said, finding the middle of what is useful and what maybe isn't as useful, and then kind of like balancing the little seesaw. But I'm sure we'll have more updates when the group actually starts kicking. Any more discussion about that? Amazing, thank you very much. Hello, Darcy. Would you like to give us an update on the Gawler Town Band?
Sure. So speaking of the PACE Festival, we had a small ensemble. It was a clarinet ensemble that performed there, which had, I think it was 4 of our clarinets played. And then prior to that, we had our children's concert. So we did like a little children's concert on a Sunday afternoon. And we actually had quite a good turnout. We had a few people buy tickets at the door. And we had kids coming up to the front, like dancing. We were playing like Bluey. It was really cute. Yeah, that was great. We also had like little lollies that we were selling for like really cheap, and we managed to make a bit of a profit off of that as well. And then on Saturday, we played at the Gawler Village Fair as well, which we love playing at. And that was our first performance where we had our new uniforms, which we used money from council to buy new uniforms because we had really old red shirts where the girls was like 3/4 length sleeves. They were great. But I organised new t-shirts from Impress for the band, and that was our first performance wearing them, and they look really smart. And yeah, coming up to Christmas now, so we'll be playing at the Villawood Christmas Parade and a few carols, I'm sure, as well, so keep an eye out on our socials.
Amazing, thank you. That's very exciting. We love supporting the local businesses. Very good. That was a lot in not a lot of agenda space. Did we have any questions about anything in 9.4? Oh, hello, Debbie. Thank you so much. Yep. Santa's workshop. Oh, yes. Lovely Sana up the road, who is volunteer coordinator, sent an email out today, I think, as well, to some volunteers and also to Debbie. Santa's workshop, as I previously dropped in here, we need some volunteers for that. If you are interested, please see Deb, and Deb will throw you off to Sana. This is my, like, 4th, 5th Santa's workshop. I don't know, I run around with Chloe, which is the elf, and we tell all the children to stop beating up the inflatables. But it's a really great time, very, very fun, and you get popcorn. It's really good. Anyway, moving on. Moving off to 9.5, which is the Youth Sponsorship Review. Chair?
Yeah, just now that we've had the council or the report, do we want to remove this from the list of items for discussion? Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have to mover and seconder this? It's not quite a motion, is it? No. Fantastic. Thank you, Chair. And 9.6 is the Bunyip Generation Now column. Someone please write a thing.
I know, just a reminder that's still on hold as requested by the committee to get through exams and end of year. We'll look to hold some sort of writing workshop in the new year, so we'll set a date for that.
Thank you very much, Chair. Amazing. Any questions? No. Fantastic. Moving on, finally, to a new item, item 10, which is items listed for discussion at future meetings. Page 4 of our previous minutes is the urban art motion. Oh, okay, incredible. And thank you, Debbie. All right, this one here, we are holding the urban art for the other motion later on, but I'm going to hand over to Chia for an update on the other motion.
I believe Debbie wanted me to talk about the Disability Access and Inclusion Plan here. Yes, so we met with the consultants who are helping us with the engagement for the updating of our Disability Action and Inclusion Plan. And we've set out some dates and we'll be doing the youth focus session in February. So we'll set a date once we've worked with the consultants, possibly on the same day as our meeting or close to, but we'll let you know. They're very excited to have youth-focused engagement on this. That's something that they don't always get, so they were really, really excited to hear that the committee is so keen to be involved. So once we've scheduled the date, we'll let you know, but it will be February next year.
Thank you very much, Tia. Did we have any discussions or questions in regards to that? Also, Jade, I'm so sorry. There's no hands up thing here. So if you have any questions, you can either message the page or email or message one of us for a chat or just start speaking, please. I don't know if she's still alive. Oh, fantastic. Amazing, thank you. I'm so sorry, I can't see you on my things. I'm like, hello? All right, moving on to item 11. Any questions without notice? No. Item 12 is motions on notice. We're going to start with 12.1, which is a notice of motion, public transport. So, Councillor Davies, would you like to speak on this one, or Lily?
Yeah, so this is a motion that I had a meeting with Cody about a little after our last meeting with the YAC. And it was that the Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that it notes the Youth Advisory Committee's concerns over the efficiency of the current Gawler bus network and the desire for changes, including an updated route that reaches more parts of Gawler, including areas with no current bus access, more consistent scheduling across the day, routes that run across Gawler rather than only directing people to the train station for work, and access to further areas such as the Barossa, and that a meeting be organised between the Mayor, Youth Advisory Committee Chair and Minister for Transport to discuss these updates to the bus network. And I'd like to mention this because public transport is really useful for young people and for like a lot of people for like accessibility reasons, like young people can't drive and also people with certain disabilities or the elderly might not be able to drive places, and having more access to better public transport would just like provide more opportunities for those people to be able to do things. Like this includes like hobbies, like work opportunities, like getting like training and stuff to travel to more places than are currently available to travel to on the current bus network. And also updating the bus network is a lot more budget and time like efficient, I guess, than trying to extend train lines at all. So I just feel like it would be a really good option for like sort of tourism, but not just tourism, like a lot of like accessibility with youth and the disabled and elderly people and stuff like that.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Lily. I'm sure that can be arranged with Mayor Shanks as well. I'm sure we'll chat about that at whenever the meeting happens. Great initiative as well. Very good. Does anyone have any questions for Lily or Councillor Davies for that matter? Does this mean that Lily is the mover for this motion? Are you speaking? Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, look, just to say, this is, it's Lily's idea and Lily's motion, and my part in it was translating it into local government speak so that it could appear fancy on the page. So if anyone else has any motions that they would like to, any ideas they'd like to turn into motions, they're welcome to talk to me about it. But look, this is one that the council has definitely been looking at as well. It's an out-of-date bus network. If you live in Springwood, Aspire Estate, any of the areas that came about in the last 15 years or so, it just was never added to the bus network because the bus route has not been updated. So there's a bunch of changes like that that we'd like to talk through with the government about, and I'm sure the Mayor will be happy to help.
Amazing, thank you so much. So we've got Lily down as a mover for that. Can I please have a seconder as well? Bernie? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you so much. 12.12 is the notice of motion on the urban art. Is that one on hold at the moment? No, that's Emerson's motion. Incredible. Please enlighten us.
It's 12.2, but sorry, I just had to. This is quite a simple one, considering everyone was quite iffy on the urban art besides me and I think Aislinn. It's just asking council if we could please have potential locations for the street art to happen. So this being a wall that could be either, I think we were discussing, we and Cody, could either be a built wall or could be a certain wall somewhere up higher or somewhere people couldn't really like touch afterwards. That's so far it. If this does come back and we get potential locations, me and Cody will write up another one asking what, like, if this is allowed or whatever. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Emerson. Any discussion? Mayor Shanks?
Yeah, through you, Chair. I believe that we did have a report come, correct me if I'm wrong, Chair, through to our CCS that actually identified some potential walls, and then it gave a bit of a mix between private walls and public walls. That report identified those areas, but also just a bit of a process around should we be able to get a little bit of interest from the building owner or the business owner, what the partnership could look like moving forward. I don't know if that report would be beneficial to provide back to this group with maybe a little bit of a presentation as a starting point, so you're not reinventing the wheel. Appetite on a personal level, I've been involved in a lot of large-scale artwork throughout the town. It's been great, it's been well received. I think it has put us on the map. Have you seen the Petite Pear one down the road? I think, you know, Whaletail alone is beautifying our town with his spray cans, but there's a whole bunch more that we could be doing. Historically, I've seen appetite in council. It is one of those nice things, and sometimes it drops off when the fundamental services need to be funded. That said, I think it's really great to show an appetite running through, but also just showing some of the processes that council have been through. And if you're talking to building owners, business owners and the like, to actually point them in the direction of what could happen. The Southern approached me not too long ago about how cool it would be if their wall had a nice big mural on it and the like. And that was something that they were willing on funding, but they were asking a process on getting approvals. I think they might have invested elsewhere and doing some other stuff with the GNOs. They're always on the move. But I guess what I'm trying to say is we have done a lot of work in the space, and it'd be great to actually maybe bring that in and go, hey, this probably answers these questions, but also probably encourages some further ones, because we've sort of come as far as we have in council, but I'm certainly keen to see it, the appetite keep on flowing through.
Thank you, Mayor Shanks. Councillor Davies.
And yeah, look, the idea was partially that I think there is some previous work that could be updated or integrated into a report back. And I think the idea of this motion is essentially that the initial idea was, you know, a budget bid and that sort of thing, and that ran into the issue of, well, before we know a budget bid, we have to know the size of the wall and where the wall is, and is it going to be a split with a private owner and stuff, and without that, you're sort of running in circles trying to start. And so we wanted it to come back with what is the information we already have, so that it can work into a future motion, and that's basically the idea behind it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that's a really great starting point, Emerson, as well. I was lucky enough to have a chat with, I think her name is Katrina from Petite Pear, whereas Kyle was doing the artwork, and she was saying to me how everyone now has always known them as the shop with the pink door, and obviously they've now moved location, and she was so thrilled to bring that part with her. And she was saying as well that heaps of her clients and other community members have said, oh, it's so great to see more art out and about, because so many shops are just left and they're blank. And I understand obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it, as well as all the budgeting and stuff, which is a whole other thing. But I think having the drive, as Emerson has, wanting the outcome, instead of just being like, can we have the report back, and then taking the report and doing something with it, is really special. So good work to Emerson. Looking forward to seeing how that goes. Do we have any other questions regarding that motion? Yeah.
Probably through you, Chair, to Councillor Davies. Do you remember when we were talking about the model of street art that I think Victoria were doing on some public? Can you remind me of where we landed with that one that might be useful as well?
So there are actually two separate things that have come to council that are sort of relevant to this. We had our general murals discussion, which you were referencing earlier, about whether to continue to fund murals. And also I had a motion about a graffiti wall in Gawler, though just, I guess to clarify, it's not quite the same thing as what Emerson was after. Emerson wasn't after necessarily just a wall that people are constantly tagging, but more like but Emerson can speak to it. But yeah, those are two separate things that have come back with reports might be 2 or 3 years old now, and they might need a few updates, but there's definitely some core there.
Amazing, thank you. This has just reminded me as well, one of the forum groups that I think I'm on, but I haven't been to a meeting in a blue moon, the Gawler and District's Community Service Forum, the last meeting I was at, a community group had gotten a grant to mosaic Stobie poles. I think they've begun, which is really exciting, but even just little things like that, even chatting to those groups and being like, hey, what was the process and how did you go about it, could be really beneficial, because then obviously you're lucky enough to have the brains and the information from these lovely people, but then also communicating with other groups as well could be really useful. And if you don't want to do that, I'm happy to have a chat as well. We'll grab the details. Amazing. Thank you very much. Very exciting. Item 13 is motions without notice. Oh, sorry. No. Oh, my gosh. Debbie, you need to write things on my sheet, please. Okay. Emerson is the mover. Seconder for this one, please. Lily. All those in favour? Incredible. Carried unanimously. Thank you. Now it's item 13. Motions without notice. We have on here for Molly to have a chat. Are you still happy to have a chat? Amazing. Thank you.
So I was looking around the streets of Gawler and I realised there's not many bins, like just along the streets. They're scattered here and there, but it's just general waste bins and 1 or 2 recycle bins. And since businesses due to climate change are changing from plastic to bamboo like straws and cutlery and just containers, we don't have the proper bins to recycle them so that they can do their thing. They just go into the general waste. So it's band-aiding the problem. Like the businesses are trying to do good, but the bins aren't supplying the needed area to go, because they will just go in the general waste and then it just goes to landfill and then gets built up. If that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Councillor Davies.
Sorry, can we get someone reading out the motion itself?
So the motion here is that the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that it requests a report outlining options to increase the yellow recycling and green organic waste bins located in Gawler's Main Street precinct to be brought back to the Gawler Youth Advisory Committee and Council. So my understanding is, where are our bins and where can we insert a green bin so that we have that opportunity to use it? Emerson?
I don't know who to ask this question to, so if anyone can answer, that'd be great. I do know in a previous meeting or one of our get-togethers as a YAC community talk, we did talk about the lack of bins previously. I don't know if that's ever gone past here. So if there's any information about that to help Molly here, would be great if we could get that.
No, from memory, a few years ago there was a report back to YAC about plastics, but that wasn't specifically about the bins, it was just about plastics and single-use plastics. So this would be a fresh report we'd do. Yep.
Amazing, thank you. Do we have any questions or discussions regarding Molly's motion?
Yeah, just to provide a little bit of feedback, I've sat on the Norma board, which are our waste bin collectors. They are sort of leading edge a little bit in the industry at the moment with their material recovery system. That said, you're absolutely right in trying to make sure that the right rubbish is in the right waste streams. So what you're mentioning there is not necessarily capitalising on the recycling elements. There's certainly different examples. I think I've sent through, you just sparked my memory, I went to Port Lincoln and I saw the way that they did their bins. It was actually quite innovative, I thought. It was a little section on the side of a normal bin that could just be attached to our normal general waste bin, that promoted you to chuck your bottles and cans in. And when you might see someone walk past and they get into the bin and whatever else, these are just sitting there, and should they not be collected, they then get collected and taken down to the scouts and whatever else. But we certainly see across other council areas, especially in the CBD areas, where you do have those encouragement bins where you've got your general waste, you've got your organics, and you've got your yellows. There might be a model that could be looked at that's already adopted to be able to put forward, and we might be able to have a chat with our partners at Norma as well. Should this get up, I'll do it anyway, but should this get up, I'll probably have a chat with our members, which are Councillor Lorna and Councillor Solomon, just to talk about a little bit of the waste stream stuff and maybe try to figure out what other council areas are doing. We have depot staff that pick up our bins, but then where that general waste stream then goes, I think will be great for us to all sort of learn that. And I'm sad to say that I'm not 100%, but I'm sure we could probably do better.
Amazing, thank you so much. You've also just reminded me, I went to Melbourne for work recently, and one of the shopping centres there, I don't know what budgeting their council has, it's insane, but they had this little machine thing that you scan the barcode of the can and the thing opens up so you can put your can in, and then it like slams shut. It's so weird. So they scan the barcode of whatever it is, and if it's like a 10-cent can or bottle, then it will let you put the thing in the bin, and if it's not, then it's like, won't let you in. It was very exciting. So hopefully, if they can do that in Melbourne, we can do that here. Amazing. Thank you very much. Could I please have nope, Molly's the mover. So sorry. Can I please have a seconder? Aislinn? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have any other questions, queries, ideas, thoughts, anything regarding anything we've discussed at tonight's meeting? No? Great effort, everyone. Really great to have like lots of things to talk about. Really exciting. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to close tonight's meeting at 7:47 on the 3rd of November. Our next ordinary meeting is on the 2nd of February next year, starting at 6:30 p.m. Do we have training/group building in December? No. We have our volunteer dinner, yes, thank you. End of year dinner. Amazing. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next year.